As we get closer to the end of owners' meetings here in Phoenix, Arizona, I am joined by Titans General Manager Jon Robinson. Jon, it's good to see you here. The last time we talked to you at owners' meetings, you were a new general manager. Here you are a year later. How different is this experience now?
Well, last year was certainly a little bit more intimidating. My first session going through all the bylaws, the resolutions, the playing proposals, a little more familiar with the surroundings. You've introduced yourself to the other owners, you know the other GMs and the head coaches, so certainly a little bit more comfortable in the setting.
In your first year as a general manager, what's a lesson that you feel like you've learned that you can take on to the 2017 season? Communication
with Amie and her family, with Steve Underwood on some of the business things, and certainly with Coach Malarkey on decisions as it relates to the football team. You know, last year, that's one of the things that Mike and I set out to do, was to have constant communication, daily interaction about the football team, the direction that that all of our players are going. Just continuing to build on that relationship that he and I have forged.
Here at owners' meetings, what is your function? What can you glean out of being here this week as a general manager?
Certainly the relationships that you build, as deals, trades and stuff might manifest themselves in the coming months, whether it's for the draft or whether it's for players. Once you get to training camp, continuing to build on those relationships, continuing to learn about the game and rules changes to the game and how to improve our football team. That's the most important thing, is for us to put a product out there that our fans can be proud of.
Here at owners' meetings, there's a lot of conversation about some of the proposed rules changes. Which do you think will have the biggest impact on the game?
There were several that were talked about, a few that were tabled. Probably one of the bigger changes is the no leaping over the, to block the field goal, that pass. So, from a strategic standpoint, you still can run at the line and jump to block. You just can't pound over the line of scrimmage to block it. It's a player safety thing. That's probably one of the bigger changes from a rules change standpoint that I think is going to make the game a little bit different, at least on that play.
About a month away from the draft, and here you are with 2 picks in the first round, 5 and 18. Are a lot of people starting to get at you, kind of pester you a little bit about what you're going to do with those picks?
There's certainly some speculation on players we may be interested in. What's the possibility of a trade? Will that happen? Given our history of what we did last year, it's an exciting time for our football team. We're glad that we have those 2 picks. We're going to come away with 2 good football players in that first round if in fact we do keep those 2 picks.
As we move through this pre-draft process, pro days are starting to wrap up a little bit. We're approaching the end of that, about to get into pre-draft visits. How important is that piece of the puzzle, actually bringing guys into our facility?
Yeah, that's extremely important. That's a chance for us to really test the players and get to know those guys. It's a whirlwind tour for a lot of those guys. They come off the combine, they have their pro day, they've visited 3, 4, 5, 6 different potential teams, and are they prepared to come into to our facility, know our coaches, know kind of what we're about? That's an important part of the process, and just us determining if that player is really going to fit what we want to be about as a football team.